Welcome back to Bonded by Bravo. Dom, Jenna, what's up?
Girl, I am hungover today.
That's so not like you.
I know, it's a journey. The anxiety is going crazy.
Well, this is a great way to start. And is that because the Eagles go birds? We love Philadelphia.
Yes, it is. It was a really big turnout yesterday at the bar. It was like, I was like, where, what? This, I feel like I'm in Philly. This is great.
Oh,
and then, yeah, it was really, really fun. It was a great game, and I am feeling it today. I haven't been hungover like this. Honestly, I have no idea the last time.
You look fabulous. I would never think that you were hungover. I also, at the top of the podcast, we also just want to shout out to any of our listeners who are in the Los Angeles area. We are thinking of you. I hate to say sending thoughts and prayers. You know, the news has been all over. Jenna and I think, are probably going to think if there's anything we can do from a podcast perspective on information we're sharing. We did take a day off last week just because it felt a little weird to kind of share some stuff about Bravo when, you know, half of Los Angeles was
crazy.
On fire. So yeah, thinking of our friends who are in Los Angeles, I know that they said this week might actually ramp up with more wins, etc. So
yikes.
We'll be
well, on a lighter note, I did just want to hear about your watch what happens live.
Oh yeah, this is crazy. So before we have a special guest today that we're so excited to have with us. But I was texting Jenna because so this week I'm in rehearsals. I have a show that opens this weekend, and when you're in a show that opens, any actor friends out there know that the week leading up to it is just like you live there. So I have rehearsal every day from 6 to 10 or 11.
Oh, wow.
I know. Or 7. That's why I'm like, wait, 6. Yesterday was 6. And my friend reaches out to me and goes, hey, what are you doing Wednesday night? And I'm like, oh, I have dress rehearsal. That's not even like today rehearsal, it's dress rehearsal. Like the show opens on Thursday. He's like, oh, I was like, why? What am I missing? Is it something big? He's like, yeah, I have a ticket for you to watch what happens live with Lisa Barlow.
What a bummer, huh? You can't go. I know. I hate that I'm so far away. I would have tried to get that ticket.
And like, I love his boyfriend, but his boyfriend does not care about this as much as I care about this. And so he's like, oh, I'll just take my boyfriend. And I'm like, this is not fair. Like, I've lived here for almost 8 years, and this has been my dream occurrence, my dream thing to happen. And I'm this close. I was this close. And he said, don't worry, it'll happen again.
Okay.
But that's nice. Will it? Or is it just something people say?
I don't know, but I hope it happens again because that live, like, on the ground content would be so good.
Could you imagine? And the thing is like you have to be there at 8. It records at 9. If it was like had to be there at 10, I just could have made it work. And now I'm just sitting there.
Bummer.
Big fat bummer. So anyhow.
Yeah, speaking of Bravo, lots to get into. So I guess, should we bring on our guest?
Yes, we're so excited. We have a special guest with us here today, Dana from the Bravo Investigator, also who is the podcast host of I Take Bravo Seriously, is here to join us to talk all things Bravo. Dana, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Amy and Jenna. I'm so excited.
Oh my God, of course. We're excited.
We love you and also have so much to chat about. I don't know, Dana, if you saw yesterday that Paige, so Jenna and I are from Philadelphia. And so yesterday, this information dropped that we were practically dying, that Paige was at a Philadelphia Eagles playoff game with, let's be specific, with a man.
Yes. Right. And it was so clearly a date. And that jacket she was wearing, I thought it was custom, but I think Amy said that you found it, that you can buy it.
Yeah, it's not custom, but it is by someone who is launching their website.
Something.
Yeah, Kristen Kurtz or
I
something.
think she's a Niners football player's wife, and she did Taylor Swift's.
And she's been doing it for a lot of other famous folks. And so
leave it to Paige to wear a $400 jacket to a Eagles game for a team she probably doesn't care about.
She looked amazing though.
Amazing.
So good.
She always does. She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I more so want to shout out the giggler or the Bravo and cocktails person who zoomed in on that from across the way.
I'm sorry, because even with the zoom in, I'm like, I guess. Like, how were you able to pick this out? It's just a brown-haired girl. Come on.
So
it's just a brown-haired girl. Exactly. And so I went on Bravo and cocktails rabbit hole of comments, and apparently who they're saying it is Joe D'Amelio, who is VP of marketing for Clutch Sports. Apparently he was engaged a few months ago, but the fiance called it off. Paige, Bravo by Gay, shout out Larry, posted, oh, God forbid Paige goes on a date with a friend, and Paige wrote, I'm going to be outside, so get used to it.
Yeah, I loved her comment back. It was so good.
But here's the funny thing about that. I guess we do need to get used to it because we expect her to be in the bed, right? I didn't think of it. Totally. I didn't think her to be out of the bed so soon. You know what I mean?
think that's the same, honestly. I think it's the timing that is throwing up. Like, obviously do your thing, girl, but I do think the timing is what's sort of throwing us off a little bit.
And Dana, you're so right. I did think she'd be in the bed for like at least at least through the end of January.
I don't mean in a bad way.
No, and it's more like just for sheer weather.
Yeah.
Like just weather logistics. I'm shocked. But she looks bundled up in her nice full coat.
That jacket is so sick.
It really is. And we, like, as Eagles fans, I mean, for every Philadelphia giggler and Paige and Hannah stan was going nuts yesterday.
Nuts. My phone was like, I had like 4 different chats going. I was like, oh my God, this is so exciting. All of our worlds are colliding. I love this. This is so great.
Oh, so this is like your version of like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
100%.
Oh my God.
Love that. Okay. Love that for us. I'll take it. Paige
That's what you should name this episode.
I love this.
Oh my gosh, it just hit me.
Okay, is there any way it's not a date though? Like, who is this man? Like, who is he? And I could be so wrong, but Clutch Sports, is that where West works now? Is that
no? West is at Complex, I believe.
Complex. Okay.
God, why do I know? Like, you know, when you're like,
but we were asking the question because we're deep in it, right? So I was just like, Clutch Sports, that sounds familiar. What is that?
But so
that could be a way that they know him, though. I mean, maybe you're West.
The other thing is Hannah follows Clutch Sports.
Oh,
so let's also think they were at the Knicks game last week. Oh yeah, they were. Is it like, what's the connection? I mean, she's calling it a friend.
Huh.
She's going to be on the street. She's going to be out here. She's going to be out of bed. I think she's just telling us like, hey, get used to it. Good for her.
I just looked up Clutch Sports, and it's an American sports agency represents some of the world's biggest artists or professional athletes, and was started by Rich Paul. Isn't that Adele's husband?
Fiance.
So this is like big. Yeah. Good for you, Paige. We love this.
I mean, look, this is not going to be her husband.
Yeah.
No.
But go to the Eagles game in your jacket.
Well, now I'm excited to see like who else.
I know.
I think it's like, yeah, this is going to be exciting.
I think that's why everyone was so hyped, because I mean, realistically, the announcement came on the New Year's Eve day or like the 30th of December. So I don't know if we thought 2 weeks later we'd be getting like a date sighting. And I'm not, there's no shade in that comment. I just wasn't expecting it. And now that she is out here, like there's endless possibilities for our gal.
Yeah. Well, this is like kind of a perfect segue to get Dana's take on the whole Craig and Paige of it all. Were you surprised by the breakup?
No. But I was sad, right? I mean, like,
this is Amy as well.
You know, and I totally resonate with what she's saying. I am a single person, sort of a perpetual single person. And when people have given up on me, but in my younger days, my mom used to really push it on me, right? Like, my grandparents died, like, on their deathbeds. We're like, why couldn't you have a husband, right? It's like their dying wish. And it was like baffling to me. And I am good and I am fine. And quite frankly, when I was dating, I was very unhappy because of the way men treat you. So I found if you remove the thing that is toxic in your life, you can be really happy. And so I've been really happy for a really long time. I'm sorry to tell everyone the secret to life. So I think she's just sort of either figured that out or realized that you don't have to do things in a certain way, which she has sort of said on her podcast, right? She may end up having kids and getting married one day, but she just doesn't want it right now. And it's totally fair that Craig does, but it would be selfish of her to continue in a relationship with somebody where they don't want the same things right now, right? Yeah. I mean, it's only fair.
I think that also, just to your point too, like, shout out to the single cat ladies. Sorry, I was just thinking of that too. And I know that you had mentioned that you had a cat too, right? Did I make that up? No, you have a cat.
Me?
Yeah.
I have a dog.
A dog.
She's cat-like. She's cat-like.
I mean, Jenna and I are dog people.
Yeah.
But it's also the pressure. We had talked about this before. Like, men can have babies at, I mean, what's his name? Robert De Niro.
De Niro, I was going to say.
Yeah.
So why are we freezing sperm?
Yeah.
What was that about? I am very baffled by that situation. Amy brought up a good point last week and said, do you think the editors recut the scene, like the episode, differently? Because it was not good for Craig. Like, the whole right after the breakup, and he's talking about freezing eggs, and then also Paige's response to it, like, what the fuck?
Well, don't you think it
wait,
was
this the beginning of the end?
No, but I feel like it picked up a little bit in the last episode because I felt exactly how you did. I was like, oh, this is so like foreshadowing. But, you know, I felt like in the last episode, she was sort of treating it like, this is my home. Everyone welcome to my home. We're almost engaged. And she felt very comfortable there. So it was giving a whole different vibe, like not the vibe like she was going to break up with him soon.
Totally, Dana. To that point, I clocked that she said, oh, this is our home. This is my home. She said it on 2 different occasions when she was She said, we're hosting people. And then I kind of got a little sad because you also can tell that Paige has touches all over that place. That black and white awning is Paige. That entire backyard is Paige. The kitchen with the like see-through cabinets, it's got Paige written all over it. Yeah, it was a little bummer to see it this week where, oh, you know where it's going. But why weren't you surprised? Because Jenna asked me that last week and it was hard for me to articulate. Like, I just knew.
Like vibes, I guess.
Yeah.
You know? Like, he'll say things, like, even on Watch What Happens Live, he'll say things like, you know, we are where we are because Paige explained it to me that way, and then I agree. Or I'll say to myself, he literally said this on Watch What Happens Live, that he said to himself, of course she loves you, Craig. Of course she likes you. She just likes to be alone. Like, the fact that he has to say these things to himself, it just feels like he's very insecure in this relationship. It's what we've seen a lot, and I'm not blaming anyone for that. But, you know, that just made me feel like this just was never going to fully fit. I don't know.
That's like, that becomes unattractive for, like, that would give me the ick after a minute.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I'd be, What did we think overall of this episode? I mean, Craig, Shep, and Austin, it seems like the Austin and Craig thing, I don't know if I'm not fully bought in. I feel like, you know, I just saw someone say today that last week Shep said on someone's comments. Commented on a Bravo page that they were just out to dinner last week. So
yeah, the 3 of them.
Yeah.
I wonder if Craig will start going out again. Do you think? Do you think he'll drink again or no?
It's like one of 2 things. He's either going to start partying with them again or he's going to get married in a year. Because everyone's doing their predictions, right? And it's like one of 2.
Yeah. I think he's going to be, maybe not married, but I think he's going to be engaged by the end of this year.
I agree.
I really do.
Crazy.
And I think it's going to be with someone from the area, like in Charleston.
Yeah, don't let a Southern girl know that a man is ready to get married with a house and a career.
Guys, we have a perfect girl, Molly. She's lovely.
I was thinking that.
Yeah,
really,
and
I love her.
I love and she's funny. And they already like kind of had a thing. Oh my God, should that be on my prediction list?
No. And she's still single because she started following me, and then I messaged her, and she was like, "Do you remember how John Hamm had said something about Paige and Craig or something?" So she had like DM'd me because I had like reposted that. She's like, "Oh, do you think John Hamm is single? LOL." I'm like, girl, you can do better than that. Like, you are so beautiful. You are so amazing. Don't let anyone ever tell you that you're any different. You like, don't let this world swallow you whole. I have such high hopes for you. So we'll see, right? That's what I put into the universe for Molly.
She's been a great addition. She's been such a great addition. I think I'm still really excited for what's to come on Southern Charm. One thing, like, the Craig, Madison, and Paige of it all, their dynamic, Paige and Madison, I would just say, like, if there's a way for them to work in some other capacity, I'm gonna hate that, like, them not being together in some role. I could see that, not Giggly Squad, but some sort of like collab. They have good chemistry. Oh, it's so good.
It really is.
And like the blonde and the brunette part of it.
Visually, it does well.
Very aesthetically pleasing.
Very aesthetically pleasing, yes.
Well, Sierra and Madison did a billboard together modeling, so why not one day Paige and Madison, right? Your favorite ex-girlfriend is what she called it.
Yeah, what was that for? Like Victoria's
modeling
app or something? Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I mean, just in interest of time, we got to talk about Southern Hospitality. Are you watching, Dina?
Love. Such a good show.
It's like the best. It's like what we have wanted the last few years from Vanderpump.
That. Yeah.
It's and Emmy is giving us like the Kristen Doty and Sheena and Katie of it all.
Oh, I didn't even clock her as the Kristen Doty, because what was she doing in that episode? She was hyperventilating while everyone else just stared blankly at her. Have you ever seen anyone have two such opposite reactions? So there was everybody else, and then there was Emmy.
It was so funny. Then watching Will not respond at all and then question her, like the way that he so flippantly said, "Well, did you do that?" And it was like, wait, what? Like,
I would have chucked my phone at him.
Could you imagine if he said that to you?
No, my phone would have been no.
No way.
The Jenna made this great comparison. I don't know if you've ever seen the Sydney Sweeney Euphoria meme of when she's like, "Everything's fine, everything's fine," and it was this week even more so than the weeks before, even more so than last week. It was. I saw someone do a collage of her faces from the last episode. It's just, I don't know if she's. To me, it's giving, like, her eyes were bulging out of her head. Her pupils were so dilated. I don't know what she's doing, but it felt very unstable.
Good characterization. Wait, what do you guys think of those two new girls, though? Because I don't like them.
Oh, really?
I don't know yet.
It's funny because Siobhan. Yeah, but that's why I think we're going to like them, because they're going to be messy and get things for us. Siobhan's from Jersey. Like, leave it to a Jersey girl to come in there and just stir it all up. Stir it up. They're going to be messy. I didn't love
the accusation, though, that they, like, Emmy's meltdown was kind of iconic and kind of really sad as well. I mean, but I really didn't, like, I thought the way that they were accusing her was, I don't know, I didn't love it.
No.
It felt a little like reaching too.
Yeah. Of this, like, did you take our money from the dresses? But like, think about when we've worked in restaurants. Jenna and I met in the restaurant industry. The pettiness that goes on sometimes and the things that you're fighting about, you know, it gets to that point where I put myself back in those places and you're like, yeah, I would have. And it's almost like sometimes if you know that person is pokeable, I don't know if you've done this, but like, I've poked the bear before just for, like, if I was
my mom,
like, I'm thinking of this specific person we used to work with who I would like poke her just for fun, because she just would be so, the way that she reacted was sometimes you're like, this is
talking about too.
but yeah.
We'll see. It sounds like they're gonna bring some drama. I thought the conversation with TJ and Michaels, that's his name, right?
Yeah,
I love that combo.
Yeah, that was like a pretty. I feel like too, especially for the South.
Yeah,
It was a really good conversation to be aired on TV.
I also I feel like we're getting to see TJ in a new light because previously I felt like he was kind of the troublemaker and the one that always wanted to stir the pot. And it's the first time that I felt like we got to see a little bit more into his personal life and more of his story. And it's season 3.
Yeah. I really like TJ though. I've liked him from kind of the first episode. I don't know what there was just something about him that I like immediately gravitated towards.
Really, he gives me dark energy vibes. Like this was the first time where I felt he opened up a bit.
Same.
And I feel like the reason it is, and he explained it a couple times in this episode, I guess, is him just saying that it's hard for him to open up, let alone being gay in the South, let alone being on TV, right? So maybe what I perceived as dark energy was just maybe him being closed and not open to sharing.
Totally.
Because yeah, you're right. We have not gotten to know him yet.
What's your sign, Dana? I'm so curious just because
Scorpio.
Oh, interesting.
Wait, why did you ask?
Just because I feel like there's certain signs that are like intuitive and or like around energies and people. And I was curious if she was the same sign as me.
Oh. Okay.
I'm not a Scorpio. I'm a Pisces. But
I don't know anything about signs that much. So
you know what? I don't know.
I can hold on to grudges. It's true. So.
What are any thoughts on Joe and Maddie? I kind of just don't care about them. Is that bad?
Happy for them. I mean, if it turns into a Carl and Lindsay of it all, then no. Because
it's giving. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think it's going I don't think they're going. No, I don't think she's like sexually charged by him, but I think he really appreciates the friendship and the fact that he's wanted her for so long.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think in the beginning that's nice, but then after the honeymoon phase, you're like, that's a little boring. I'm like, he's not quite doing it for me. And I don't know.
He definitely is into this way more than she is. The other thing that I didn't like that we saw a little bit about Joe Bradley this week is this little bit of like the controlling side of who she should talk to about him and she was trying to mediate the situation between him and TJ and him kind of telling her who not to talk to. Like, good luck, Joe Bradley.
I also don't know why he's so mad about the Louis, like,
everyone knows.
But the other thing is, it's like, you're also in a reality show. Like, if it wasn't going to come out through him, it was going to come out. And it's
Danielle put it out. It was Danielle.
Yes, actually, it really was Danielle. And she was commenting, and she was like basically confirming that it was going down. And like, I just don't understand why he's not wearing it proud.
It's Luann. So I know.
I would wear it proud. Like,
because even the girls are like Maddie, Grace, they're like, that's iconic.
Yeah.
It's very bizarre. Like, was he? I don't know.
But that's why, like, it's giving me. It's not about the pasta. Where is there something else that we're not missing?
Well, I think he said it in the previous episode where he's worried that TJ will lie about him. So, and then we saw it a bit in this episode where apparently TJ does lie about him sometimes. And a few years ago said that he was gay. And telling
but maybe there's not as much lies to that. Like maybe something happened. Oh, this is interesting.
You should out someone without their
no, absolutely not. No, but that's why I feel like TJ's messy. He's like really messy.
Dark energy.
Yeah.
What should we? Where do we want to go next?
Oh God!
From Southern Hospitality, or we want to go to Salt Lake City or Roni? What are you guys thinking?
Oh my gosh!
Speaking of Salt Lake, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Did you guys see this video of Brittany at the airport singing the Pink Pony Club? There's a link in the. Did you see it, Dana?
I've stopped. Like I see that around. I see the videos around. I don't play them anymore.
Like, it was really bizarre. I've watched it like three times now. But her and Joe are the same. Like they are the same. I need them like getting. I can't imagine what
Joe from BPR.
A 10-minute, Joe from BPR. Like a 10-minute coffee date would look like between these two. They're so. Like erratic and shameless in a way like that is like my friend and I were talking about this morning when she was cutting my hair, and because she's the one that sent me the video of Brittany. She's like, could you imagine just like not giving a fuck about what anyone around you is thinking on that level? I'm like, no, but it's kind of admirable.
But it's not. I think I feel like it's more than not giving a fuck. It's just completely lacking self-awareness.
Right, but that's a Salt Lake City thing, right? The reason it's campy is not these women aren't doing it on purpose. They genuinely think they're being genuine, but because I guess the culture that they grow up in, or the fact that they weren't even allowed to watch Housewives, which is what we're finding out now from the after show, that it would be considered like rated R or something that you wouldn't even watch in that culture, then they're just acting a fool and they don't even realize that we're laughing at them.
We are laughing at them. Like this most recent episode, like I am definitely alone, I think, and I think I've said this on this podcast before. I don't love Salt Lake City. I know it's my own, this is my own baggage. I know this is my own baggage. Like I'll get it sorted, but this most recent episode though had me like cackling. Like there was when Brittany has like this, she's like, well, there is some, she's dead ass serious. And she's like, there is something that I have not been truthful about. And she's like, I've been physical with him. I'm like, what?
I've been sleeping with the person I'm currently dating.
Right.
I brush my teeth every morning when I wake up.
And just like the timing of it too, because she just had this breakdown over the recording. Like, was she recording that? I mean, the thing that was so funny about them getting so mad about the recording is that they were being filmed and recorded.
I just said something so private. There was when Bronwyn said that, and I'm like, you guys can't be serious, right? Okay.
And Meredith's response to just all of it was so like, watching Meredith be so paranoid make me think like, what is she? Is she like really hiding something? Because she was like, yes, her face, her neck. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a wild ride, this episode. I was like, I'm gonna this is gonna be my favorite Salt Lake City episode I've ever seen.
Yeah. Oh, I loved how you said campy, Dana, because me and Jenna always say like the Housewives are goofy, but
like a parody of Housewives.
Salt Lake City is like a parody. Exactly. It's like a parody of what Real Housewives will be like. Like they just did a parody on SNL, and Salt Lake's already been doing this. Like they've it's this week's episode. Mary's bringing the
commentary is really great.
So perfect. Like who thought she would ever be the voice of reason?
I'm obsessed.
And when she says, and she's like kind of mocking Meredith for being so paranoid. She's like, what? Like you're boring. Like it would be, she's like, I think I would fall asleep. I'm like, it's just...
But at the same time is egging her on. Is like, get her, Meredith.
Yeah. And then the whole thing that Heather was doing was like a little like, I was like, okay, so Heather to me was clearly messing around with Meredith, but Meredith, I don't think she was in on the joke.
No. About trying to find the bug in her room.
The bug in her room.
That Brittany planted.
Yes. Like this is a storyline. This is a real storyline on a Housewives show. But someone
planted a bug in your hotel room. I just don't think Brittany has the mental wherewithal to go there. Do I think she recorded them? Yes. I also think she could. I also think it could have been one of her stories, and I think she got overwhelmed by everyone all at once. Like I just don't know if she was like
maliciously doing. Yeah, Dana, what do you think? Do you think she was maliciously recording them in that van?
I'm a Brittany apologist, and I don't think she's smart enough. I really don't.
I just don't think she was doing anything with malicious intent. I think,
even if she was, it was no malicious intent.
Yeah.
Like, how many of us like watching your mom or somebody who doesn't know how to use a phone, and they're like doing the thing, and
I've done it where I'm like, I think I'm recording, and I didn't. Yeah. Like, I pressed it, but I didn't press it twice or something.
Or you record something that's not actually supposed to be recording. Like, if you look at my phone, it's like screenshots, like.
The reaction
of your screen.
Right.
I mean, I guess in the rest of the Housewives' defense, like they were clearly triggered, right? Like we had the Monica. This was like a clear display of what being triggered looks like, because that response to Brittany was like very overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and she says to them,
they're afraid. I'm like, what about Brittany is giving Monica Garcia? Like,
and she says to them, I obviously triggered you, and they all went, you didn't trigger us, and it was like, oh my god, sorry guys. It was that was a whole other so just to wrap up on Salt Lake, because we are now going to move the rest of our podcast. We still have a lot to talk about, and we're going to talk to Dana on her podcast, I Take Bravo Seriously. So if you want to, so sorry, Dana's podcast, I Take Bravo Very Seriously.
Same girl.
Join us. Yeah, seriously. Join us over there. Dana, why don't you plug your Instagram, if you have TikTok, anywhere, tell us where to find you.
Sure. So you guys can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at The Bravo Investigator. I also have an Instagram account for my podcast, which is I Take Bravo Very Seriously. You can listen to the podcast wherever you get podcasts, and you can watch the full-length videos on Hurrdat Entertainment's YouTube channel. I Take Bravo Very Seriously.
Amazing. Dana, thanks for being here.
Yeah,
if you want to hear the rest of our conversation, join us on Dana's pod, I Take Bravo Very Seriously. Thanks, Dana.
Thanks.
Thank you.